Hello everyone and welcome back to Superboy Beyond, and today we have a commentary for you which is a season 3 episode called A Day in the Double Life, and this is one of our favourite episodes. And yeah, we're not going to waste too much time before getting into it, except just to say that if this is your first time watching alongside us, this is not like a typical YouTube reaction video. You will not be seeing any clips from the episode itself in this video. Basically what we'll do is just count you in with a 3, 2, 1 play, and you just sync it up with your own copy and watch alongside us in full. Kind of like, I guess, what they do on Patreon with some other channels. So get your copy of the DVD ready. Season 3, episode 15, A Day in the Double Life. In 3, 2, 1, play. So this is a lot of people's, this is on a lot of people's lists as one of the best episodes, and I think part of it is just because it gives us a glimpse into the life of Clark Kent that we don't usually get in this show.
Yeah, it's a very character-driven episode. I mean, yeah, he does use his powers here and there, but it's very character-driven.
It's also very comedic. There are some really funny moments in this. There's one in particular that I'm picturing now, but I will wait until we actually get there.
Yep.
But yeah, this is just a great episode.
It's also very Jackson heavy in this, because we get to see Jackson being, the boss.
Mm.
He's not there for 2 seconds, just bark an order and then he leaves. He's definitely,
Jackson has some good stuff in this. Slightly less than he did in Jackson and Hyde, but that's okay. But there is something really interesting about this episode that I've mentioned this before, but we all know that for season 4 they switched to a royal blue version of the suit. This is one of the few season 3 episodes where he's wearing the season 4 suit early. So I assume that this was originally meant to be a season 4 episode and they just moved it for some reason. But
well, as Mike Carlin has told us, they were basically filming seasons 3 and 4 back to back. So
yeah, which is why I think maybe they just shuffled the schedule a little bit, because they were shooting it all at the same time anyway. But they wouldn't have obviously switched to a new suit and then switched back for the next episode. So yeah, I think this was probably supposed to be a season 4 episode. It would have probably made a pretty damn good season opener, to be fair. Probably better than the actual season 4 opening episode.
Yeah, that 2-parter is even though Michael DeBar's is great in it, it's a little meh.
Yeah, it's just a bit. Yeah. It doesn't quite live up to the potential of its premise, It's not a bad episode or anything like that. And yeah, this is definitely an episode that plays a lot with the comedy. These two characters, I don't remember if they were ever in another episode. I don't think he was. But I like that, they've brought a little bit of a comedic B story.
Yeah, and of course, the actress who's playing the agent amongst the two of them is Alice Beasley, who's best known for being in Moonlighting.
I think I've seen her in some other things much later. Was she in Pushing Daisies?
I don't know, but I do know that
if she wasn't, she has a very similar voice to one of the actors in Pushing Daisies.
Yeah. She was in the movie National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon. She was the...
Never saw that one.
It's basically a spoof of the Lethal Weapon films. And
is that another one of the Charlie Sheen parody movies?
No, it's Emilio Estevez.
Right, so it's his brother.
Yeah. But there's a character who's played by Kathy Ireland, the model, and when they first meet the character, she's got her hair up and it's as Alice Beasley, and then she lets her hair down and it's Kathy Ireland, and they make a joke about, you look so much better with your hair down.
Yeah, this is a great episode, and it's nice getting to see Clark's home, because I know we've had a few We've visited it a couple of times, but it can't be more than like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think the only other times we've seen it was briefly in the
One of the commentaries we did not too long ago, I know, had a
yeah.
very short moment in it.
Um, A Wish for Armageddon.
Yes, yeah,
And then the other time that we saw it was in Rites of Passage.
right. And I can't remember any other occasion off the top of my head. If anybody, watching does remember another occasion where we saw Clark's apartment, let us know, because maybe we'll do that as a commentary soon as well.
And of course, we just missed the infamous shaving scene.
Yeah, one of the things that I love most about this sequence, because and boiling the water for his coffee, another good use of a superpower. But yeah, the whole shaving with heat vision, that's obviously been done in the comics before this. It's not a new concept, but I think this is the first time we really saw it done on screen.
Yes.
So that's kind of a big deal. Like they certainly, I doubt they had the effects budget for George Reeves to have done it for a throwaway joke. So
Yeah, and they certainly didn't do it in the Reeve films.
no,
The next time we actually saw it was in Lois and Clark.
yeah, I can't remember if he did it in Smallville. I remember him making toast with his heat vision, but I don't remember him ever shaving with it.
Yeah. The funny thing about the shaving scene in Lois and Clark that always, my dad and mom were watching Lois and Clark with me, and my dad points out, "Wait a minute, he's Superman." What because it's right in the scene when he puts the aftershave on. He's like, "Why is he wincing from the aftershave? He's Superman."
And that was in Lois and Clark, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I never noticed that. That's wow. Yeah, I guess they just didn't think it all the way through in that sequence. Oh well.
And one thing that I like about him having to do this episode with the lawyer's notebook, where he has to break his day down, is he's not lying about the things that he's doing in it.
That's it. He's bending the truth a little bit. Maybe a lie by omission,
Yeah.
but no, everything he's writing in this book happened. Jackson can't accuse him of lying. It does make me laugh at the end when, we'll talk about it when we get there, but
Yeah.
it's funny that Clark thinks Jackson might have found him out. How he thinks that based on that notebook is beyond me, but there you go.
What? Oh, the wood?
Just muted your microphone for a second. And you're back. I could hear a door opening.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, we didn't get nearly enough of Matt. He's my favourite new character in season 3 and 4, I wish he had more episodes focused on him. Like, we had a couple, but...
And I'm honestly convinced that Matt knows, but he just doesn't want to say it.
Yeah. Matt is, he's a very smart guy. He's good at his job. I'm sure he's worked. I wouldn't even be surprised if, Jackson has some suspicions. Because it is funny that Superboy shows up at the Bureau an awful lot despite not working there. Although I guess maybe they think that he's just, keeping an eye on Lana or something. I love this sequence with the cards, though. Like, it's a comedic sequence, but I think the actor playing the... yeah. I think he does a good job,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a little bit over the top, maybe, but I like his performance. I think I think he does a good job. That is my favourite comedic moment from the episode, although there is another one coming up soon.
And these, you that they got an interest in them, just the way they're acting.
Yeah. I tell you what, I know they're arguing because deep down they like each other, but my god, that's going to be a strange relationship. I can't
Yeah.
see it lasting, I can't see it lasting the rest of their lives. Let's put it that way.
Maybe that's why we never see them again. They
Yeah,
probably
they end up killing each other, yeah.
It's not like these two, Lana and Clark.
Mm. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that we know that, Superman and Lois Lane should always end up together, like, you can imagine him and Lana having a pretty good life. Like, I think it would have lasted. It's not quite like how Smallville did it,
Yeah.
when, Lana and Clark was, first love, but not an adult version of a relationship. Probably didn't help that Clark was constantly lying to everyone, though. But yeah, I love this sequence with all the strange things. Like, what's strange about that log, do you think?
I have no idea, and I don't think I want to know.
It's so strange, though, that right at the end, an actual strange like invention thing actually shows up. Like, everything's fake until the end, and it's just like Clark's face when he sees the thing, just
Yeah.
priceless.
The pumpkin.
Yeah. It's funny because there's a lot of good props in Superboy, but this episode had some really fun ones. Like, you had the bomb thing. I assume it's a bomb.
Yeah.
You've got the pumpkin that apparently has a face on it, which I assume was made by the prop department. Unless they just happen to happen to find one in time,
Yeah,
which I seriously doubt.
I think that was probably made with plaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like looking at the props in this show. There's some damn good ones. What I wouldn't give to add some of those props to my collection. Hell, I'd even take the two friggin' like dustpan lids welded together. I would take that. Hang that on my wall.
Just a look of frustration on his face when Jackson calls him away as he's getting ready to change.
Mm. This is just a great scene, though. Like, yeah, Jackson, he works Clark hard, but yeah, the fact that in a moment he will send help for Clark. Yeah.
Yeah, but the help he sends isn't much of help.
No. No, we know Clark would have been able to do it on his own, but Jackson's not to know that. He meant well.
Yep.
I really like this episode, and it's annoying because when I posted clips from this episode on YouTube that I'd remastered, some people were saying that they really didn't like Gerard's performance. But this whole episode is a farce, it's comedy. And he's
Yeah.
playing it exactly as he should for the tone of this episode. So I don't know. I thought it was worth mentioning because I really don't think they have a point in that. I think he does exactly what he was supposed to do for this episode.
And the one thing about this episode is it does touch on the idea of he's a superhero. He's got to always find ways to get out of his job
Yeah.
without it being, oh, I'm shirking my duties.
Yeah, he needs to find a good excuse that, Jackson will buy. And, it's great practice for when he'll later work at the Daily Planet. So that's one thing I've always appreciated about this show. It's almost you get to see the bits and pieces of what he'll do later throughout the course of this show. Like it's never a focus or anything, but yeah. If you chose to look at it as an origin story, there are definitely episodes that lean into that. Yeah, it's like the whole B plot with them two. It's a romantic comedy. You've got farce, you've got slapstick, you've got romantic comedy. Yeah. All right, so he's called Eddie in this episode, but he's definitely called Ernie in Hell Breaks Loose. I always like to track what they call him in any given episode because it does go back and forth so often. I do
Yeah.
like that moment when he realizes the glasses. I wonder how many times that's happened. What a shame they couldn't just make season 3 and 4 an actual Superman show because, man, I really think that instead of Jackson, if it was Perry White, I think he would have been marvellous.
Oh
He's
yeah.
basically the same character, isn't it? Yeah, I love that. This episode's just got so many great lines. It's there's a reason this is in my top 5 like season 3 episodes, and it's a very very strong season.
Yeah, they finally realized exactly what they were doing, and were able to do it right.
Mm. And I put a lot of the credit on Julia Pistor because it's no coincidence that the season she became showrunner is the best season. And let's face it, season 3 and 4 are both good seasons. It just happens that 3 is slightly better.
Yeah. Well, we know why 4 is a little bit lower. I mean,
Yeah.
they
Less episodes, or at least originally planned for less episodes, and is there 2 clip shows in season 4 as well? Like, I think we worked out it was 2. I think it was 1 in season 3 and 2 in season 4. I could be wrong.
Was it 2 or was it 3 in season 3?
It might be 3.
Yeah.
You know,
Plus,
audience, if
there's a
you
lot
know,
of
let us know.
two-parters.
Yeah, a lot of 2-parters, which, I'm not complaining, because there's a lot of episodes of this show that would be great as a 2-parter, as we've discussed many times. But
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, that scene there, the fact that Clark actually thought Jackson might have worked it out for a second. Yeah. Nice little comedic moment, but I don't know how Jackson could have worked it out from that.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the way he answers, he puts everything down.
Like, there's no clue that he's
Missed my
Superboy in
bus.
there.
Found
Yeah.
alternate means of transport.
Hmm. Hmm. I've always really liked this scene. Just showing that, doing the right thing.
Doesn't mean it's doing the right thing for your love life.
No. It just shows, being a superhero, it's all about sacrifice, It's a big theme, especially with Spider-Man, but it's always nice when they do it with Superman too.
Yeah. Such a great episode. I don't know why anybody would not like this episode.
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's clearly meant to be comedic, but it's played to perfection, in my opinion. It's a really great episode that knows what it is, and that's all. Yeah, that's all they really are trying to do. They're not trying to make an Oscar-worthy like performance piece or anything like that. Like, it's a comedic episode showing like the funny situations that come from Clark having to live a double life. And I think the ending showing that he's missed his date with Lana shows that he's having to sacrifice to a certain extent to do the right thing, and that's kind of what Superman's about in a way.
Yeah.
Such a great episode. It's a comedic episode with a really poignant final scene. So top 5 of season 3 easily for me. I just adore this episode. It's also great just going back and just talking about the guest cast. The 2 agents that have the whole love subplot. I think they both did a good job. They're both very enjoyable. It's a shame we didn't see them again, but I mean, they both took, 6 weeks of vacation or 4 weeks?
4 weeks, I think.
4 weeks. So they're going on a month-long vacation now. Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they got married and never came back.
Or they killed each other.
Or they killed each other, which, to be fair, is probably more likely. Unless they married each other and then killed each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really fun episode, and I think the guy with the tinfoil under his hat, that like he's doing the traffic warden duty, I think he's played really well. It's hard when you play characters with mental illness because it can just seem like you're taking the piss out of the thing itself. But this was just playing up the situation, and like Superboy was, the guy was happy to see Superboy like in all of this. Like, he was happy enough. Superboy's just like, let's go get you some help, which is fine. I think they played the scene about as well as they could have done in 1990. Yeah, I think these days maybe they'd even try not to do a scene like that. But Superboy's a product of its time, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Right. And that scene with him as the traffic warden is probably my favourite jokey scene of the episode, other than when they're bringing in the alien artifacts to the front desk, or yeah, when he gets help in the sorting room. That's a good moment. But yeah, just a really funny episode. Superboy did comedy pretty damn well, and it's funny that this is a season 3 episode, because obviously One, we've got the suit, which is clearly the season 4 suit. They do go back to his previous suit, I think, in the very next episode. I think the finale as well, Road to Hell, I think uses the season 4 suit as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so obviously they just started using it early. I mean, we can all tell why. By season 3, like the blue on his original suit, it was starting to look pretty washed out. Um, it was about time that they updated the colors because I guess it's just all that time in the Florida sun.
Yeah, it was bleaching it.
Yeah, it was just bleaching it. In fact, there's people out there, I'm sure, whether they're watching this or not, I don't know, but there's people out there that must own like season 2 suits, and I wouldn't be surprised if a whole bunch of them, like if you were to compare them all, I bet they'd all be different colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a really fun episode. And
Yeah.
thank you very much. I forget now who actually requested this one, but we do thank you for the request. And it was the same person that requested the last commentary we did, which was Test of Time. So
Another
thank
great
you for that.
episode from season 3.
Yeah, two absolutely phenomenal episodes. And yeah, if anybody out there has requests for the next commentary for us to do, let us know. Maybe we'll do a season 1 episode next, just because it's been a little while, and we do like to jump back into season 1 from time to time because there are gems in there. But yeah, other than that, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode. Be sure to tune in again next time, and we'll see you then.